Hello. So I've been testing around with the Smaland, and well, I basically tried to spec, well, not tried. I built it for guns actually, or mostly hybrid currently. I'm not fully committed to guns, um, but yeah. Other than the regular line, it can actually be used as a gunboat, in my opinion, simply because the base gun range is higher. The regular tier line is 10 kilometer and this one is 11.4. So actually investing points in the range and stuff makes sense and is, well, useful. And the speed is your bread and butter. The speed boost consumable with you have 5 of them or 4, but with the captain skill you get 5. So what I do here is basically what I always do. I'm trying to commit to a cap. Um, what I normally use is RPF, but it's just too expensive for the gun build. Can't pack it because RPF combined with radar is just the way to go to kill DDs and stuff like that. But I couldn't make it fit. So yeah, we are trying to contest B here. Um, I do make a few mistakes in that game, and this is not a high damage game, but it shows the potential of high damage games. Mm, yeah. So preempted torps, trying to cap, and as I noticed that the cap actually is blocked, I made a mistake. My first one. I am well activating radar, but the issue is that I'm not fully I cannot fully use the radar on the cap, so I'm going to the other end, trying to see what is there. So here I do notice that the DD is in the same division as the battleship. However, getting an SSU killed is your battleship will basically love you for that because the SSU is a huge threat. So I decided I will commit to this because I actually expected the Asashi to run away, but he stayed. So I went in. I saw the battleship, and this trade here. What I will do now is basically not an exception or not a fail, but it will cost me a lot of life. So I committed, and I'm prepared to fully commit until this thing is dead. In a regular gunfight, this thing has no chance. However, the Magi can be and will be an issue. I expect him to actually run away now, but he beached instead, which I did not expect. So up we go. We committed, so we are going full in. I know that he does not stand a chance. He will dish out a good amount of damage, but I will gun him down because the reload of the guns are just really decent or really good. I mean, these are Friesland guns, you know, not a chance that he can kill me out. The Amagi, however, can. So I'm trying to get into the smoke. And of course I will get another volley from the battleship. Luckily he is AP. So why did I commit? Okay, of course, firstly I want my cap. Second, I want the Sashi dead. He is a big threat to others, not to me personally. The torps don't hit me. I don't give a fuck about it. But about the torps, of course, and so I committed. But secondly, or yeah, Secondly, it is very. I can use my heal. The heal is, I consider the heal really powerful. So I know even if I get a lot of damage in, I can heal up.
Das gegnerische Team hat die Führung übernommen.
Basically half my life will be up once all my heals are popped. Regardless, this move was, I wouldn't do this move again, because when you're you know that the trade was, I was paying heavily for the trade, and well, it is a gunboat build, so I want to do my Daka, and it's always good to have a good amount of life for these random shells that actually hit you. However, with that Sashi out of the picture, we have one threat lesser for the battleships. So now, let's see what we can do now. Smaland's gunfight with the Smalands is a very bad idea. At 10 kilometers, he will blab me. If he's any good. Luckily, my Republic does the job of killing him. My Henry asks for support, and I will gladly help him. Every dead destroyer is a good thing, you know. Less spotting for the enemy team, and of course I don't have to keep contest against other DDs. Once the DDs are dead, I can fully focus on my task of well, basically farming damage on the battleships and on the cruisers. So here we go. And he is, for whatever reason, he's shooting AP, I don't know. Very strange. So he now knows that he has issues. He can't smoke up, but nevertheless he tries as his last option. But I could radar him in that case. The Henry, however, did the job very well. Killed the death. And now we can use the utilities. I consider the torpedoes on this ship more as a utility, not as my main operation thing, you know. The battleships here, which will be coming in the direction of B, or going in the direction of B, well, they can get farmed now. What you want to do is you throw the torps, you get the flooding, and then you Daka. These guns have exceptionally good fire chance. Or maybe it's just my RNG. However, I think the base fire chance is like 8%, which is really good. And just consider the amount. With the reload you have, you can just shoot so many shells. It's crazy, man. So here we go. The torps do look very good, very promising. I'm looking for the flooding. Normally, and of course I want to get some range in between the battleships and me. 10 kilometers I consider very bad. However, I want my fire, so I'm doing that. What I normally wouldn't do. I fire at 10 kilometer range and without my speed boost. The speed boost is normally very important. However, I want those fires, and only the Amagi is actually considering shooting me. and you fail at that. So we have our fires. But we want more fires, of course. Now we want to go dark. Because, well, speed boost is best. And they're burning. And also we want to go more, want to get more distance. You know. We throw out another preemptive torps. As you may see, as you may saw, I'm using the widespread simply because I want to maximize the chance of actually getting at least one hit. I want the flooding. The alpha damage is so bad you don't care about the alpha damage. So here we go again. We are on speed boost. Keep in mind you will not use the entire speed, simply because every movement you're doing will slow you down. So the 47th knots you, in theory, could make are unrealistic because you have to dodge, of course. So we are waiting for the shells. We are very close again. We want to disengage. We waited for the shells. Now we are going dark and get more range again. Here, well, now it does look that Maggie does want to disengage, but I wasn't sure if he would try to beach, you know, in order to get the cap. Sadly, he wanted to fully disengage. So here we go again. You want the fire, of course. But RNG said no, so I can live with that. This is horrible. We need SAP at any range is you should try to avoid it, essentially. However, look at the damage. We are at 121, which is a good amount for a destroyer. I mean, you could easily go higher, but I traded a lot of health at the start, so I had to play more passively. You could play more aggressively if you have the health for it, you know, because you need to factor in the random shells that do manage to hit you. Yeah, I popped the radar because I got located and I thought that the Haragumo maybe was close to me, which was another fail on me, because, well, now I'm on cooldown. And here he is. So we are basically dead. Now we are trying to at least trade as much hit points as we can. The Henry again. Henry was a reliable partner in this match. He did very well. well, let's make this short. We won, of course. Um, the battle was average, I would, or was not very high, but it just was there to show potential. You know, I'm still playing around with the build, and yeah, um, battle report or well, nothing really outstanding. 126,000 damage, which is in fact good for a TD with torps that have such minimum alpha damage. Yeah, we got a kill, etc., etc. Yeah, team stats, well, not very high, but decent. Like I said, still testing, but very promising indeed. And now we are getting the interesting information. So here we are. We made 40,000, or in total 126, 40,000 with the main guns, which I consider good. Torpedoes, 5 hits, 32, um, 32,000 damage, which is, the alpha is the issue here. However, now it's getting interesting. Fires, this is where Gandhidis actually, this is the bread and butter for Gandhidis, and we made 54,000 damage with fires alone. And the combination, you're using the fast torpedoes and then your Daka, you're getting the fires. Of course, additionally, the alpha or the Gen alpha is also pretty decent. Uh, the whole package is just really nice. I mean, this was matchmaking against tier 8. However, I was also in tier 10. I actually managed to kill a Des Moines with my ship, and made on the Des Moines alone with Gens 40,000 damage, which is which is just awesome. What you have to consider on a tier 10, especially against ships like a Des Moines, it is very important that you keep check on your motor speed. You only Daka when you have the motor speed available. You don't wanna Daka in front of a Des Moines with 35 or 36 knots. This is not a good idea, even on 13 kilometers. However, if you are above 40 knots or 42, the Des Moines really will struggle to get a hit on you. Simply because you're fast, you're nimble. I'm actually playing with rudder shift. It is awesome. I really, really like this. Um, yeah, we can check out the build actually. Let me just, where's my World of Warships? Where is my World of Warships? There you go. I'm still I'm still playing around with the build. I'm thinking of touching the radar module in order to get the boost, the speed boost module. The speed boost is awesome. This is the thing that actually enables you the Daka at least on tier 10. Tier 8, you can go without it, or at times, but on tier 10 you need it because speed is basically dodge chance. This is also one of the things that the Kleber does. The Kleber is such a good gunboat simply because it's super fast. It's very hard to hit. You need to pre-aim so far ahead. So module wise, I'm using uh, main armament modification 1. Currently the radar modification 1. This is where things get interesting because I'm actually using kind of a hybrid build, you know. I'm using torpedo modification 1. Um, Mainly, of course, the first one for the speed, but mainly because I want the risk, the minus 40% risk, simply because I'm using this module, which results in a risk of 50% torpedo failure chance. Um, and I want to mitigate that with this module. I would prefer to actually use target modification 1, simply because you get the dispersion is better on longer ranges. However, I do like the fast reloaded torps, and you will get like, yeah, basically 15 seconds uh, reduction. You're getting 85 seconds torpedo reload. And then whenever, you know, the idea is whenever you go dark, or whenever your motor boost goes out, you go dark, you use your torpedoes. So this actually works pretty decent. So I am throwing my torps, I start my motor boost at Daka, and once my motor boost runs out, my torpedoes are basically ready again. And yeah. What I'm currently thinking of is removing the module, the radar mod, uh, and include the motor boost mod. So you're getting basically 90 seconds instead of 60 activation time. Um, because for the speed is very important. Very important. Um, yeah, and that's basically it. I'm using rudder shift, of course, because movement is so important for a gunboat. They're currently at 3.4 seconds, which is good for DD. And yeah, and of course concealment, because in the end I'm still a cap contester. That's and I want to go dark, you know. When I want to have the option to be able to get dark most of the times, you know. And yeah, the captain's wise, we are using priority target, adrenaline rush, of course, for the torpedoes mainly. Of course, the guns is just the guns do have such a good reload. You don't have to push them. I consider each skill that is percentage value boost, I consider it straightly useless or too expensive, because you have a reload of 1.7, and if you are getting 20%, it's like 1.6 or something, or 1.56. Yeah. Then we are getting last. Oh, the English. The last stand. Yes, last stand. Very important for a gunboat. You want to move. You know when the shit hits the fan and your engine broke, you want to go dark and you want to at least have some kind of movement. Survivability expert, of course. Inspector, of course, simply because an additional motor speed boost, very important. Heal, very important. Radar, okay. I'm I'm actually not using the all four, you know. Like I'm mostly using two, maximum three, but you want the inspector because you want the heal, you want the speed. That's important. The more speed, the more Daka. Then you of course want the range extension. You could make it with the module, but the module is only 16%, so you're going with the 20, of course. It's just better. And concealment expert. Yeah, that's it. That is my current testing Daka build. Still still in early progress, but I really liked it so far. Yeah. Bye bye.